From the heat of the Virgin Islands to the snowy conditions here in Morgantown, the West Virginia women's basketball team is back in action tonight at the Coliseum against Elon. West Virginia is wrapping up a successful run in the Paradise Jam this past weekend with wins over TCU, Virginia, and finally Iowa State. Very successful in those 3 games. They had great defensive efforts. The only drawback is Sarah Miles is out looking up until January with a hyperextended knee. In interviews this past week, Mike Carey elaborated about the issue and what he expects from Miles from here on out.
I think they said it was, after the MRI, said it was just a sprain and had fluid in it where she sprained it pretty good. So it's going to all depend on her range of motion and how soon we can get that back before we put her back on the floor. Yeah, you know, it was good. I was really worried. We had a surgeon come look at her in the Virgin Islands, and they thought it was a little bit more than what it was. And, you know, the MRI showed it wasn't torn, so that was good. That was the best news we could get.
Mike, you did a preview in today's paper about this game tonight against Elon. What can you tell us about what they're bringing to the table?
Elon's a team that can really score the ball very well. In their 7 games so far this year, they've only been held under 70 points twice, including their last game, 100-67 loss against Appalachian State. They've got a couple very good weapons on offense. Their point guard, Allie Ford, is averaging over 18 points a game. One of their forwards, Kelsey Evans, is averaging a double-double with 13 points and 11 rebounds. And she could be the first real big test in the front court that the Mountaineers have had to face at home this season. They haven't really faced a lot of very good competition in Loyola and Duquesne. And I think how well they can stop those 2 players will be a big factor in whether or not they can win the game.
In interviews, Mike Carey also talked about the Elon game with a little preview.
They have a little point guard, about 5'2", 5'3", that shoots it all over the place. Shoots it deep and all that, so we got to contest that. They have really 3 3-point shooters. The rest of them are drivers. They like to attack the rim. They'll play a little bit of a 2-2-1 back to a 2-3 man. They'll play a little bit of a 1-2-2 back to a 1-2-2 half court. So I'm sure we'll see zone. We saw a lot of zone, and I'm sure we'll continue to see a lot of zone right now.
Matt, what do you think the keys to tonight's game are going to be?
Well, first of all, they're definitely going to have to keep up the enthusiasm they've had down in the Virgin Islands. The Paradise Jam was just awesome for their confidence. 3 big wins against quality opponents. Losing Sarah Miles is something to look back on, but they really rallied around her, and that's what made the final game very successful. She may be out for a while, so they're definitely going to use that as a springboard to kind of keep their poise and confidence of it, knowing that they're going to be playing for Sarah. Now, how about you, Mike?
For me, I'm going to be watching closely about how well Sarah Miles' replacement, Brooke Hampton, does in the game. She started in her place at the first game of the year and did very well, and in her playing time since then, she's played very well as well. She's played 87 minutes and only turned the ball over 3 times. She takes care of the ball extremely well for a freshman, and Mike Carey touched on that a little bit on Tuesday in interviews.
But I thought Brooke Hampton come out in the 3rd game and did extremely well. But, you know, they played us mostly zone. You know, when they did go man, they didn't pressure us and that type of stuff. So, you know, that was the type of game that she was comfortable in. But we got to get her ready to, you know, people up on her and pressure and that type of stuff.
Tip-off is set for 7 p.m. at the Coliseum tonight. Follow us on Twitter at Daily Athenaeum for in-game updates and to get a link to our live blog. I'm Michael Carvelli. This is Matt Peaslee. Thanks for watching.